Welcome, and thank you for joining this quiet moment together on Graceful Retirement. Today we explore how mindful spending can support a peaceful and secure retirement. We'll look at gentle, steady habits rather than dramatic tactics or complex formulas. You do not need to be a financial expert to benefit from what we'll discuss. Let's begin with a simple idea: spending with intention rather than reaction. When we approach our expenses gently, we give our retirement life more breathing room. First, I'd like you to breathe for a moment and consider how you feel about your money. Are you comfortable with how you spend and how you save, or do you feel tension? If there is unease, know that you're not alone and that calm habits can help. Now let's outline 3 key points we'll cover. Noticing spending rhythms, aligning spending to values, and building a rhythm of small, regular review. By the end, you'll have a clearer sense of how to create a spending pattern that supports your peace. Let us gently enter the first point: noticing spending rhythms. Every day we develop habits of spending that often go unnoticed. Perhaps you buy a coffee each morning, or you pay a subscription you barely use. These small actions form part of your spending rhythm, your money's daily dance. When left unchecked, the rhythm may drift into something uncomfortable or unsustainable. Instead, by gently observing your rhythm, you gain awareness and can adjust with kindness. Imagine you are listening to a soft piece of music, and you gently follow its tempo. Your spending rhythm is like that music. Once you listen, you can decide whether to stay in tune or change the tempo. A helpful exercise. For 1 week, simply note every spending that feels a little outside your comfort zone. You might write down unexpected takeaway, unused subscription, or impulse purchase. This is not about guilt, it's about gentle awareness and kindness to yourself. Notice patterns without judging them, and just observe how you feel after each spending. Do you feel calm, or do you feel unsettled? Are you aligned or are you offbeat? Once you've noticed your rhythm, we move to the second point: aligning spending with values. What matters most to you now in your life of retirement or retirement transition? Maybe it is time with family. Maybe it is good health. Maybe it is travel. Or maybe it is simply quiet moments at home. When your spending supports those values, it becomes purposeful rather than automatic. For example, if your value is meaningful connection, then maybe a simple dinner with a friend matters more than a fancy gadget. If your value is health, then perhaps you allocate for a modest gym or gentle walks rather than expensive gear. By aligning spending with values, you steer your money rather than letting money steer you. This alignment brings a kind of inner calm, because your spending reflects what truly matters. As one proverb says, cut your coat according to your cloth, meaning live within your means in harmony with your life. In our context, that means your spending follows your genuine priorities, not someone else's standards. Now we turn to the third point: building a rhythm of small, regular review. Just like you'd check the time to ensure you're on track, you can check your spending rhythm periodically. You might choose once a month, or even every 2 weeks, to review your patterns gently. During this review, you ask 3 simple questions. Did my spending reflect my values? Did I feel calm after I spent? What small adjustment can I make next time? This is not a heavy audit, it's a friendly check-in with yourself. When you do this regularly, little by little your spending rhythm can become steadier and more aligned. And over time, steadiness builds confidence and calm in your retirement life. Let's bring all 3 points together now: noticing rhythms, aligning to values, and reviewing gently. When these steps are practiced, spending becomes a supportive part of your retirement, not a stressor. You begin to experience money as a tool for living your values rather than as a worry. At this point, you may wonder, what about unexpected or major expenses? Indeed, those will come. healthcare, home repair, or family need are real possibilities. The good news: when your regular spending rhythm is calm and aligned, you are better positioned to handle surprises. It's like walking on a well-worn path. Even when the weather shifts, you have a sense of footing. One practical tip: build a small buffer or comfort fund within your spending plan. When you have some flexibility, you worry less about the unknown. This buffer doesn't have to be huge, just enough to create a cushion in your rhythm. Another tip: practice slow spending, meaning pause briefly before non-essential purchases. When you pause, you ask yourself, does this really reflect my value? Does this feel aligned and calm? This pause often leads to more satisfying spending decisions and fewer regrets. Let's walk through a short example. Suppose you see a travel offer that sounds tempting. Before clicking buy, you pause. Consider, does this trip reflect a real value like connection or wonder? Will I feel calm after I go? Or pressured? If yes, you proceed with a sense of purpose. If somewhat unsure, you may adjust or delay. In this way, spending becomes intentional and peaceful, rather than impulsive and uneasy. Let's also touch on avoiding comparisons and external pressure. When we watch others spending or feel we must keep up, our rhythm can lose its calm. The phrase "keeping up with the Joneses" reminds us of this danger. When we measure our spending by others instead of by our life. In retirement, your life is unique and your rhythm is yours to shape. So we practice gratitude for what we already have, and choose spending that supports our unique peace and purpose. Now, you might ask, what about budgeting? Isn't that complex and rigid? Here I suggest a simplified approach. Rather than a detailed line-by-line budget, create a broad spending rhythm you feel comfortable with. Think in 3 categories: essentials, housing, food, health, value-aligned spend, what matters to you, and comfort, spare, small pleasures and unexpected moments. You assign sensible amounts to each, not fixed rigid numbers but comfortable ranges. Then you monitor whether you stay generally within the ranges and how you feel about it. If you notice you're drifting significantly, you gently adjust the rhythm rather than panic. This approach keeps your spending habits steady and calm, rather than reactive and fraught. Another dimension: keep your spending aligned with your income or withdrawal rate in retirement. Living in tune with your income rhythm ensures long-term sustainability and peace. For example, if your income is modest and stable, your spending rhythm reflects that modesty consciously. If your income has a little more flexibility, you allow slightly wider ranges but still stay aligned. This alignment helps avoid the worry of running out or overreaching, especially as people are living longer than previous generations. In fact, research highlights that the risk of outliving savings is a real concern for retirees today. When you budget your spending rhythm with this in mind, you gain a sense of control and calm. Let me mention the importance of value-anchored spending again. Spending that reflects what you love and care about. Maybe your value is generosity, and you decide a small regular gift or donation aligns with that. Maybe your value is lifelong learning, and you allocate for a modest course or new hobby instead of an expensive gadget. Whatever it is, when spending echoes your deeper values, it feels fulfilling rather than hollow. And when it feels fulfilling, your rhythm feels comfortable and your heart feels lighter. Let's now consider the habit of reflection and gratitude. After each month of spending, take 2 minutes to reflect. What spending made me feel good and in tune? What spending left me uneasy or inattentive? Then express gratitude for what you spent that supported your values and peace. This reflection reinforces the positive rhythm and gently guides you to adjust what requires change. Let us also embrace the idea of slow accumulation of peace, rather than chasing rapid growth or high returns. In retirement, It is often less about growing wealth dramatically and more about preserving rhythm, calm, and purpose. By aligning your spending rhythm to that mindset, you shape not only your finances but your life experience. Please remember, the goal is not perfect spending, but gentle consistency and awareness. Like a tree that grows slowly but steadily, your spending habits build a quiet strength over time. Now I'd like to share a metaphor. Think of your spending rhythm as the tide of a calm sea. The tide rises and falls gently, predictable and reassuring, not a raging storm or desert drought. When you live in harmony with that tide, you enjoy the rhythm of life itself. Steady, kind, manageable. And if a storm approaches, you have a sturdy boat, your routines, values, reflections, to weather it. Before we conclude, let's revisit the 3 keys one more time. Noticing your rhythms, aligning spending to your values, and review regularly with kindness. Practice the short pause before spending. Build a modest buffer. Allocate spending ranges. Reflect with gratitude. These steps help you live your retirement with dignity, calm, and freedom. Let us finish with a gentle proverb. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. In our case, the journey is toward peaceful, value-aligned spending in retirement. And the single step is simply noticing one spending pattern and pausing before the next. You don't need a grand plan or perfect timing, just the intention to live in tune with your values. Day by day you build a rhythm that supports your peace and your life. In closing, I invite you to take one small action today. Choose one spending item you will review before purchase this week. Pause before you spend and ask, does this reflect what I value and support the rhythm I want? Then after you spend, reflect, how did it feel? Calm? Aligned? Good? From that space of gentle awareness, you move forward with confidence and grace. Thank you for sharing this time with me today and for choosing to cultivate calm spending habits. For your retirement, may your spending rhythm be a friend to your peace and a reflection of your values. Until we meet again, remember, to spend with intention is to live with grace. Take care, and may your financial journey be as gentle and steady as a quiet sunrise.